Welcome to The Silver Scene, a talk show for seniors by seniors, starring Bill Sherrill. Join us for fine wine and a great meal here at Sip Restaurant and Jazz in historic downtown Leesburg, where Bill and his guests will share great conversation and interesting stories. From here to the Villages, we will explore the colorful tapestry of our Tri-County area. Today's guests are crooner Eddie River, raconteur Fred Pack, local businessman Phil Dolphy, and restaurant owner Ben Mosley. Now, here's Bill.
Thank you, Glenn.
Right back at you, Bill.
Welcome to The Silver Scene. Thanks for joining us for our second show as we come to you from Sip, an exquisite jazz and wine bar located in the heart of beautiful downtown Leesburg. The holiday season is upon us, so from all of us here at The Silver Scene to all of you, happy Thanksgiving. Now, let's talk turkey. Thanksgiving, as you know, is all about family and making great memories. Some folks travel thousands of miles to be with people they only see once a year, only to discover that once a year is way too often. You know, ironically, one country that doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, Turkey. But here in greatest country on the face of God's green earth, we know how to celebrate Thanksgiving. And all of the families in America on Thanksgiving Day will be sitting down to eat at the exact same moment. Halftime. And speaking of time, we're going to have a great time on the show today. Today's show will feature Ben Mosley, the owner and proprietor of Sip, Fred Pack, legendary Appalachian storyteller, Eddie River is a great singer, and Phil Dolphy from CVS. So stay with us. It all starts right after this.
Norwegians are free to do everything under the sun. Free to cruise at their own speed. Free to explore their own way. Free to discover a new world of taste. Free to smile wider, applaud louder. Free to live fuller, deeper, and closer. That's how you cruise like a Norwegian. Norwegian Cruise Line is the Caribbean's leading cruise line, sailing year-round.
Welcome back, folks. I'd like to introduce Mr. Fred Pack, legendary Appalachian storyteller. Welcome to The Silver Scene, Fred. Good to have you with us.
Thanks.
I understand you used to work for DuPont.
Yeah, I'm retired from DuPont. I worked 34 years in the industry, and then I was very fortunate to consult for 5 years. And I had the opportunity to travel all over the world there doing that, teaching safety courses. And I had some very interesting experiences.
I'll bet you did.
I can tell you a couple of them. I'll tell you a high one and a low one. I worked in Australia with airlines, and I worked with flight attendants on their personal safety, and that was a very interesting assignment. I did that for about 6 months. Then the other side of the story is that I worked in China in a coal mine. Being from West Virginia, I had coal mining experience, so I had an opportunity to combine my DuPont skills and my mining experience from West Virginia. And so I worked 6 weeks in a Chinese coal mine, 1,500 feet deep and 2.5 miles back. That was an interesting experience.
That sounds like the beginning to a bad joke.
Well, it can make a very interesting story. You know, I enjoy storytelling, so
What got you into storytelling anyways?
Well, growing up in West Virginia in a mountain clan, I had 40 first cousins and 11 uncles and aunts. And we had family reunions, and when we got together, we told about all the things that we did. And when you get into storytelling and somebody catches a fish a foot long, then I've got a story one about 18 inches. And if you didn't catch a larger one, then it got away. So that kind of thing. Well, everything is a story. Life is a story.
Sure is.
And it's, to me, it's, we're losing the art of oral transition today. And I'm trying to preserve a little portion of that and tell about those activities and things that we did growing up in the hills of West Virginia.
I understand that you're starting a storytelling guild. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I live in the villages, and there's over 2,000 activities there. But the thing that we're trying to start is a storytelling guild to give people opportunity to tell. And actually, the name of our storytelling group is TALES, and that's an acronym for tellers and listeners enjoying stories.
Nice.
And that's what we're all about. And so we invite villagers to come and tell stories if they want to, or just listen. And then secondly, what we're trying to do with our storytelling guild group is to form a group of tellers that is willing to go into the community, to hospitals, different homes around there, and tell stories to people. And if we can get that accomplished, then we want to go into the school system. So we've got a lot on our plate, and we're very excited about it.
That sounds great. We're going to be coming back from a short commercial break, and Fred will tell us one of his legendary Appalachian stories. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you're wondering who to call, where to go, or what to do in and around the Villages, go online to villages1.com, the Everything Villages website. You'll find clubs and activities, movie guides, classified ads, community news and information, coupons, discounts, and more, all on this one convenient and complete website. Check it out now on your laptop, iPad, or phone. Villages1.com, the Everything Villages website.
And we're back, folks. You're about to hear a legendary story from Fred Pack.
Me and my brother Charles Edward grew up on a farm in West Virginia. We had to take care of our chickens. We had to feed them. We gathered the eggs, and on Sunday morning we had to get a couple of them for fryers and chicken and dumplings. Now you ain't never felt nothing no better in your life than sticking your hand up under a laying hen, feeling them warm, moist feathers, and getting an egg. It was just nothing any nicer than that. One day, me and Charles Edward were gathering eggs, and I was reaching up under this laying hen, and I felt something, and I pulled that thing out, and it was an egg this big. I showed it to Charles Edward and said, "Look what I got." He said, "That's a turkey egg." I said, "Charles Everett, there ain't no way a turkey egg. This is just our chicken coop." He said, "Well, that's what I think it is." So I took that egg out. Charles Everett wanted to bust it. I said, "No." So I took that egg outside and I held it up to the sun, and I looked in it and I saw two yellers. We call them double yokers. Now, Daddy had warned us. He said, "Boys, don't ever hatch a double yoker." But I slipped it under a setting hen anyway and didn't tell him about it. Me and Charles ever watched that hen every day, and we checked it to see if they were hatching out. One day when they started pecking out, we had pecking on both ends of our egg. We were tickled to death. We didn't know what we were going to do. Anyway, when they came out, we had Siamese biddies connected at the back. And we tried to twist them apart and couldn't do it. And of course, we didn't want to hurt them. But what we had to do is, it was a full-time job. We had to turn them chickens about every few minutes, let one of them eat, and then drink some, and then we had to turn them over and let the other. Well, Charles Everett got mad because he blamed me for doing it. And we knew right then what the bad luck was all about. But anyway, having to do that all the time, we come up with the idea of getting a piece of rat wire about this wide and a big long strip of it and making like a Ferris wheel. And then with a little chicken training, we taught that bottom chicken to climb up that like that. And when they got up about 11 o'clock, they'd drop over, and then the other one would eat and drink some. And that worked absolutely perfect, and we got to play a little more ball and fish. No sooner than we got that problem solved, another one came up. And me and Charles Edward wasn't old enough to really understand this, but one of them biddies had grown up to be a rooster, and the other one was a hen. And that rooster was just very unhappy. And you men would understand this. How would you like to have a woman on your back all the time? Anyway, that's what we were dealing with. Well, as good luck would have it, the carnival came to town. And me and Charles Everett took our Siamese chickens, a bag of food, and went up to the carnival and sold them outright to a sideshow. They just had to have it. And we got a pocket full of money. We rode every ride in that carnival. We saw every sideshow, and we were coming home with a big ball of cotton candy, this big, just smiling, and we had money in our pocket.
Downtown Leesburg has never looked or sounded this cool. That's right, Sip Restaurant, Jazz and Wine Bars come to town, and it's changed everything. We turn down the lights and turn up the live jazz entertainment for that active nightlife experience you've been looking for. The ambiance is edgy, the artwork is right up there with the best, and our vast assortment of beers and wine will keep you coming back time and again. So bring your spouse to the classiest jazz and wine bar around. Come to Sip Restaurant on Main Street for the time of your life.
And welcome back. I'm still laughing at the story, Fred. Double yoke. Well, how? I guess the yoke's on me, huh? And they wonder why I drink. This is, it was extra special. Thank you very much. Thanks for being on the show, Fred.
Thanks for having me.
The Silver Scene is a show geared for the active senior. If you're tired of us being the brunt of TV jokes or seeing talk shows with guests younger than our grandchildren, watch your friends and neighbors on The Silver Scene. We're looking for people with interesting life stories to be on our show. So if you would like to be a guest, call us at 352-552-4785. We want to talk to you. If you're in the business world trying to reach the active senior market and you think your product meets our standards, call us. We would like to talk to you as well.
Welcome back, and we're here with Phil Dolphy from CVS. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Well, thank you, Bill. It's a pleasure being here.
Could you tell us a little bit about CVS?
Sure. CVS was started back in 1973 up in Ohio and Pennsylvania. We started out doing predominantly vinyl siding. That's why CVS stands for Custom Vinyl Systems. Some people get confused thinking we only sell vinyl products, but actually we sell a whole host of things in the home improvement range. Again, we are still up in Ohio and Pennsylvania, and we came down here in the year 2000. That's when I moved down here and started our branch down here. My partner Carl runs the two up north, and I take care of this one down here. Aside from vinyl siding, we do a tremendous amount of lanai enclosures in the villages. We are able to enclose lanais and keep them cool and comfortable and still have people avoid a tax issue of going from what's called a Category 3 to a Category 4 room. A Category 4 room is a heated and cooled room with vents and air conditioning, if you will. If we can get that room to a comfortable level without doing that, they still remain in what's called the Category 3 room, and their taxes will not go up, which is very important to people these days. We do home replacement windows. We have extremely energy efficient glass. We do bird cages, pool cages, a lot of vinyl siding repair. Seems like a lot of folks in the villages here these days are putting their gas grills too close to the walls of their vinyl siding and melting them. You've done that too?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, then you're a candidate for our things. Concrete work, plumbing work, electrical work, pretty much anything in the realm of home improvement we can handle for you. We are certified building contractors, which means I can build anything up to 3 stories tall, residential or commercial. And the only thing I can't do is build you a bridge or a skyscraper. So I think we're safe when it comes to that.
Okay. Now, you mentioned pool cages. I happen to have a home with a pool cage. A couple of questions I have about that. Can you replace sections of the screen? If a golf ball comes off the golf course and goes through, what can you replace a section?
Certainly, as long as you have framework that's usually maybe anywhere from 5x5 to 8x8, and we can take out just that specific section of screen and replace with an additional screen.
Or just a rip or a hole in the screen, you can replace that too?
If it's just a small hole, we have to replace the whole panel.
Okay.
We even have screens that we can guarantee a golf ball won't go through, so that problem won't happen again.
Okay. Are they steel screens?
No, they're fiberglass screens, but it's the way they're woven together,
right.
And they're all American made, by the way.
Okay. What is the average pool cage? What is the average lifespan of a pool cage?
Depending on if you're in the sun or in the shade, the last house that I lived in, the cage was 14 years old, the screening was still fine, but it was in the shade. If you're in the sun, you're probably going to get 8 to 10 years out of it. Okay. And you can tell your screening is going bad because they're like us. When they get old, they turn gray.
Okay. We have some more questions for Phil. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Katina Pantazis, wills, trusts, probate, Medicaid planning, serving the villages with free office consultations. Call today, 352-600-2987.
Grand Oaks Manor is an exclusive luxury home community located on the western border of the villages on Rainy Trail, County Road 472. Come visit us.
And we're back. Once again, we're speaking with Phil Dolphy from CVS. Phil, we were talking a lot about pool enclosures, different kinds of screens. How can CVS save money on utilities for the average homeowner?
Well, that's a good question. The glass we use is proprietary to us. It will reflect approximately 97% of the heat back to its source. So in the summer when the glass is hitting the sun is hitting the outside of the glass, it reflects the heat out, and whatever's hitting from the inside reflects back in. Normal single pane glass reflects about 30% of the heat. Insulated glass reflects about 40% of the heat. And then standard low E glass, which we use low E all the time, which will have an aluminum film on the inside, that'll reflect approximately 50% of the heat. But when you go to our proprietary system that is done with silver oxide and argon gas, that reflects almost 97% of the heat back to its source. That way we can keep your house comfortable, and it's not dark either. It only eliminates 6% of the light from coming through. So your house remains bright and cheerful. You know, when people move to Florida, the first thing they do is close their blinds because there's too much heat coming through. Mm-hmm. Well, this is the Sunshine State. We don't want to be in the dark, we want to be in the sunshine.
Sure.
And our glass allows you to open your blinds, let the house get bathed with light, and still keep the heat from penetrating through.
Okay, what would you say to people that decide they want to save a few dollars and they're going to buy that film that they put on the glass that tints it, but...
Well, they better be very careful on how they do it. I've seen so many of them bubble and just degrade on top of the window. And also, if you do not use the right type of film, you will blow the seal out in between your glass. And then there is not a manufacturer of glass in the United States that will warranty the window once a film is put on it. So you've got to be very careful on what you do in that sense.
Okay. So could you tell us what you think separates CVS from all these other companies?
Oh, certainly. Our work ethic, our quality of materials, our installers are all certified by the manufacturers. If you deal with a company that is not certified by the manufacturer and something goes wrong, the manufacturer is going to go back to you and say, go back to whoever installed it. They weren't certified by us. We give a lifetime non-prorated warranty. Non-proration meaning if you come back to us in year 3, 5, 7, or 9, it's always covered 100% by us. There is never a charge to the homeowner. And that warranty is transferred to the next homeowner. They will receive the material portion, not the labor portion. You as the original owner get the material and labor portion. We also give you a lifetime accidental glass breakage warranty. If the glass should break for any reason other than an act of God, a hurricane or a tornado, we'll come back and fix that glass for free. We are currently about a 50% referral-based company, which is absolutely huge in our business because there are 3 things that I tell people will stop you from buying or make you buy. Price, quality, and here comes the most important one. Who do you trust?
Exactly.
If you don't trust who you're dealing with, they could have the best price in the world, the best quality in the world. If you don't get the warm fuzzies when you're there talking to somebody, it's not a good deal.
Yeah.
And at a 50% referral rate, we've done work for you, we've done work for your aunts, your uncles, your friends. You already know you can trust us. Now it's what price range do you fit into?
Great. Now, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Phil, and if I need to de-up my pool, which I will have to do here in a couple of years, I'll be talking to CVS. Thank you very much for being on the show. Thank you. We'll be right back, folks.
On the hottest day of the year, he sold snow cones and still lost money. He drove an RV for 5 years. When he stopped, he got a thank you note from the insurance companies. These are his stories. Who's going to remember yours? We are Personal Memoir Films. We are your life preserver. He's the 687th most interesting man in the world.
I don't normally watch DVDs, but when I do, this is the one I watch.
Welcome back, folks. And today, the Silver Scene is proud to present Eddie Rivers. Good to have you on the show, Eddie.
Thanks, Bill.
I was told that you came down here from Brooklyn.
I did.
What brought you to Florida?
The weather, and I had a sick uncle at the time, and I thought I'd look in on him and see how he was doing, and since then passed away of diabetes, but and Florida kind of grew on me.
Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that. But you still do miss the winters in Brooklyn, don't you?
I do.
No, you don't.
I miss raking the leaves in the fall.
No, you don't.
I miss throwing snowballs at people like you.
That you probably do. Did you ever put little chunks of ice in the middle just to make it hard? No.
But it is cool to go skitching on the back of the buses. You get a cardboard box, you stand on it, you hold the back of one of those moving buses, they're called city buses, you grab onto it and you let go and you go, psst. Pretty cool.
I see. So you're insane also.
Yeah,
okay.
You have to be.
Yeah, I guess you have to be
When you're an entertainer, you have to be insane.
Of course, it comes with the turf, doesn't it? Tell us, when did you start singing?
Well, I started singing when I was 9 years old. I don't remember it, but my mother said I started at 9. And then I sang at an orphanage party that her company put on at 16. And after that, it just kind of blossomed from there. But I really did not particularly feel as though I wanted to be a singer at that time. I did not start until I was 32.
Is that when you went professional?
About 5 years ago or so.
When did you start getting paid for it? When did you go professional?
In 81.
81. Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it?
A long time ago.
Yeah. Tell me, what was your biggest influence?
I did not know it at the time, but I would sit at home waiting for my mother to come home from work in Brooklyn, and she had all these records with a parrot on it or thing that said Capitol, meaning Engelbert and Frank Sinatra.
So
and
are we going back as far as 33s or 78s?
Yeah.
How far back are we going here? 45s?
33s, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm 55 now, so I've been around the block a time or two.
Okay.
But I'm glad I didn't have albums. Imagine carrying them things around in the car, sticking it in the CD player.
Yes,
no way.
Yes. What kind of gigs are you doing now?
Well, I do and have been doing for about 30 years. I do a lot of nursing facilities.
Oh, that's nice.
And it keeps me from having to get a day job.
Yeah.
Because entertainers usually don't make enough money to have a comfortable lifestyle unless you get lucky like Engelbert or Frank Sinatra and all them. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy what I do, and my fiance affords me the luxury to do that and play at the nursing facilities. But then again, I also do establishments such as this. It's a very nice establishment here, and private parties. I used to play at the Villages, and I love what I do.
Great. And now, if somebody wanted to hire you, somebody wanted to get in contact with you, how would they do that?
They would go to either my website, which is Eddie Rivers, and you spell Eddie, E-D-D-Y, Rivers, abetterchoice.com, or you can call 863-937-2627.
That number again,
I always wanted to do that.
I always wanted to say that number again, folks.
And here's my CD, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you have a CD?
No.
Well, you should have one. Eddie, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, he will sing a song for us. We'll get to sample some of his vocal professionalism. I know you're going to do great, man. I'm looking forward to it. So Thanks. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
There is a good idea, and then there is a bright idea. When you need an idea that works, call Bright Idea Marketing. Call 352-578-1552.
And we're back with Eddie Rivers. Thanks for sticking with us. Tell us, Eddie, what song are you going to sing for us today?
I am going to do a big hit that saved Engelbert Humperdinck's career in the 70s called After the Lovin'.
Sounds great. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Rivers.
We're set. After the Lovin' for the ladies. So I'll sing you to sleep after the loving with a song I just wrote yesterday.
can hear all the words and the music have to say. It's so hard to explain everything that I'm feeling face to face. I just seem to go dry, but I love you so much that the sound of your voice can get me high. Thanks for taking me on one way trip to the sun, and thanks for turning me into a someone. So I sing you to sleep. After the loving, I brush back the hair from your eyes. Hear the love on your face is so real that it makes me want to cry. And I know my song isn't saying anything new. Ooh, but after the loving, I'm still in love with you. So I sing you to sleep. After the loving, I'll brush back the hair from your eyes. And the love on your face is so real, it makes me want to cry. And I know my song isn't saying anything new. Oh, but after the loving, I'm still in love with you. After the loving, I'm still in love with you. Oh, after the loving, I'm still in love with you.
For 5 years. I called Bone Dry Roofing. They came out immediately to give me an estimate on how much it would cost to either repair or replace. I chose replace because I was tired of dealing with roof leaks. The gentlemen that came out to do the work were extremely professional and so polite. I could not be more satisfied with Bone Dry Roofing.
We believe in a quality product and a satisfied customer. Every job, every time.
Welcome back. We have Ben Mosley with us, the owner of my new favorite place right here, Sip Restaurant, Jazz and Wine Bar. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. Tell me, what brought you down to Leesburg?
Had a bunch of restaurants in Mount Dora, sold them, looked around. Leesburg, to me, is unique. It's surrounded by the villages. It's unique. It was a town that was ready to grow. Why not get here before it starts growing?
Right. Now, you know, I noticed, I just realized, I said, what brought you down here to Leesburg? Like everybody comes from up north. Where did you come from?
Mount Dora, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Nashville.
So that's not really north.
No. We're still going north from there,
well,
yes,
we're
absolutely.
glad you showed up because
Thank you.
I love this restaurant. And I understand you have a vision for Leesburg.
Leesburg is unique. I think that these small towns have an ebb and flow type thing.
Yeah.
It's Leesburg's time.
Yeah.
Our proximity to the villages and plantation and legacy, second to none. You know, and Leesburg kind of sat dormant for a while, and things are getting better in our economy, and it's time to grow.
Yeah.
What's the better place to invest in real estate and restaurants and different things than Leesburg right now?
Sure.
We have a huge amount of people around us that have disposable income.
Yeah, I know many times my wife and I would be on vacation. We drive through little towns, quaint little towns, and we say, oh, it would be nice to live here. And this is one of those towns. It's a quaint little old town, and now they're renovating it, and they're doing a lot of great stuff. Your restaurant being one of the great things they're doing here. And it's really nice to see all the changes that are taking place, and you're front and center of all the changes that are happening.
Leesburg's happening right now. More changes here than any town around us. It really, really is, you know.
Now, I understand you've developed some restaurants before. What is your draw in creating restaurants?
I have a tendency to build what I want to go to. If I see that I need to leave town to do something, common sense tells me, then why don't we just build that here? I can't be the only one. I don't have any unique taste. We all want good entertainment, a friendly place to go to, and good food.
Sure.
Why drive to Orlando? Just create the darn thing.
Yeah, I particularly like the ambiance that you have here at SIP, and I said it before, I hesitate to call it a jazz wine bar restaurant. To me, it reminds me of a big city. Back in the day, we used to have the after-hours jazz nightclubs.
Speakeasies, people used to.
Speakeasies, right, exactly. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
I wanted to create something, I mean, you see, we have sofas, we have 5 different levels of seating.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to find something you're not comfortable in sitting.
Right.
Why go home if your friends are here?
Exactly, yeah. You've done a really good job here at SIP. I have a few more questions for you, but we have to take a short break. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
How much longer do you need to suffer? Eliminate pain. Accelerate your body's natural ability to heal. Call today and schedule for a free consultation. 352-552-1889. Now only in the Villages. Call today and schedule for a free consultation. 352-552-1889. We can make you feel good too. Change your life of pain.
All right, and we're back. We're speaking with Ben Mosley, who is the owner here of SIP Restaurant in beautiful downtown, newly renovated Leesburg. So nice to have you with us, Ben. Tell me, what would you like the typical villager to know about SIP? Or Leesburg?
Well, I believe the villagers, as well as Legacy Plantation, villages especially, this is an interesting demographic. And they come down, they're active, more active than anybody. We go up there, we kind of look into the future. What will our life be like later in life? A couple of, not that many years away, actually, unfortunately. But, you know, it's been said, I heard somebody say it, that, you know, no matter how big the island is, the island gets small. I don't care how you're living, when you live in the villages, you will feel this confinement. We're trying to create something that's affordable, fun to get off campus, I think is the word to use. They love to go off campus.
Right.
I'd like to be the other place they go off campus to, basically. Right. You know, we offer 4 nights a week of entertainment. It varies from jazz, blues, affordable food, beer, wine. There's always something to do. Dancing, it's a blast. You got to come by. You really do. You'll love it. You really will.
And I noticed you have, I looked at your menu, you have a lot of items on the menu that you don't see anywhere else, so it appears to me that maybe your chef puts his own personal touch on everything he throws on the plate here.
We spend a lot of time designing our items. We want items that aren't too complicated, simplistic. A lot of the menus today, everybody's become a foodie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The food has gotten so complicated now, you actually forgot what you started with. We're trying to go back to basics a little bit and use more savory than anything. We use foods that you know what they are, you just haven't seen them arranged in this fashion or put together like this.
Right.
And that's what we try to offer. We've got everything from low carb to decadent desserts. We do everything in-house, so it doesn't matter what you want. If you're interested in entertainment, quality food, affordable prices, you've got to try me. You got to.
Great. SIP Restaurant, beautiful downtown Leesburg. What's not to love? Thank you so much, Ben. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Greatly appreciate it. I really do.
Okay, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you see us again on our next show. This is Bill Sherrill for The Silver Scene saying, keep up with The Silver Scene. We'll see you later.